And yeah, try and stay closer to the microphones. There's a clear, crisp audio.
Okay. Can you see me and everything?
Yes,
And you can hear me?
yes. You are a little grainy, but I don't know if that's just because of my connection.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of background noise on your
Okay.
on your end, but
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure what that is. Anyways,
Yep.
hello everyone, and welcome to another episode on my channel. Uh, Today's episode will be part one of a series on. It almost made the same mistake twice. This is take like three or something, 3 or 4 or something now. Um, this will be part one in a series of on mythological and legendary weapons, or weapons in legend. Um, and then today's episode will be on on cloaks and shrouds in myth, and I'll just give a handful of examples, and we'll kind of do the standard procedure on this channel where I talk a little bit, my guest talks a little bit, um, and we go from there. But yeah, today I've got with me a returning guest. Caleb, would you like to introduce yourself to the viewers?
For sure. Hello, I'm Caleb. Um, I'm interested in everything, including some stuff with history and ancient tools and technology, modern tools and technology, and I'm curious to see what all there was used in ancient times and myths, and I'm excited to be here on the show. Thanks for having me.
For sure, for sure. Thanks for joining us, Caleb. Good to have you. Um, so today we be talking about 5 examples. We'll be talking about 2 examples, one in the beginning and one at the end of Irish mythology, as well as one from Celtic, one from Greek, and one from Norse. Um, so yeah, uh, like I said, this first one is from Norse mythology. Uh, the the one in the picture there. Sorry, the quality is a little bit bad. I um, copied it from a small photo, so it's a little bit grainy. But this is a statue of one of the Greek or Irish gods named Manan or Manon. I don't know entirely how to pronounce it. So in the comments, if you speak Irish or know how to pronounce Irish names, please let me know. Uh, but he is essentially the god of the sea in Irish mythology, similar to Poseidon or to Neptune in Greek and Roman. If that's offensive, again, let me know. To you experts of Irish myth and legend. Um, and he owns or is often depicted with a cloak of invisibility, um, called Manan's cloak. Uh, pretty, pretty cut and dry, straightforward. Uh,
Well named.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't leave anything to be speculated. Just
Yeah.
short and to the point.
Do
Um,
the stories tell where he got it or how he used it?
um, you commenters will probably be able to to clarify on that. I know more about uh, more than any other mythology of like Greco-Roman mythology than anything. So I can't say much to the origins of the cloak, but um, I'm not sure if there's a, I guess, um, origin story behind it. So we might have to do a revisiting of this episode once people get get in the comments and get my facts straight. um, this second example is this second example is from Celtic mythology. It's of a goddess named Brigid, which grants those who step under it protection and refuge. It's also called Brigid's Mantle. There's another name in I believe that the language is called Celtic, which I don't entirely know how to pronounce, so I won't begin to attempt to do so because I'm monolingual. And so, yeah, I guess another thing to note, which I thought was interesting, was that it like affects can affect multiple people, but there's like and then also there's like an aspect of agency to it, which I thought was pretty cool. Most of the other ones are more of like tools in the sense of they do things to people, you know, much like
So
a sword or a spear or Thor's hammer.
so
Yeah.
Bridget had this like mantle that did like cover a certain area, or was it like taken around or like hung in the equivalent of heaven or the wherever the deities were, or where did it go, or how did that work?
That is a great question, one which I am ill-equipped to answer at this time. So again, as is kind of the you could say the catchphrase on this channel, please let me know in the comments. And again, we'll probably have to do a revisiting or revision on this topic when I get when all y'all tell me what's what and who's who and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'll have to do some research into the origins behind I guess both of these weapons. um this next one I have more I guess understanding of. This is um Hades Helm of Darkness, which is a great name. Just I guess more elaborate than a couple of the earlier ones that I mentioned, but uh, I think it's just a great name. It was made by the Cyclops, which are kind of the handymen of the handymans of the Mount Olympus, or I guess the just Mount Olympus in general. Um, they made Zeus's lightning bolt, for example. I think they might have also helped to make Hephaestus's like animatronic robots that help him get around, which is another story. But yeah, the this was used by Perseus in one of the myths where he killed the Gorgon. What's her bucket? Medusa.
Medusa.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, but in another one, which we'll talk about either in the next one or the following, he uses a polished shield to protect himself, and ultimately defeat Medusa. But I guess one aspect of this tool, which I thought was interesting, was that Caleb and I were talking about this before the recording, was that Hades used it in the underworld to kind of aid in keeping his identity anonymous, which we thought was kind of weird. That Hades of the underworld needs to um keep himself anonymous in his domain. But
Yeah. Like Clark Kent's glasses or Superman.
I'm not Hades. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's that? Um, look over there. Speaking of look over there, it also helps him to be elusive and evade mostly danger and just other people, which is part of how it was used in the Perseus myth with Medusa. Um, but yeah, that's Hades, Helm of Darkness, which again is a wonderful name for a helmet. Uh, but yeah, and then this is an image actually of Odin, um, not Freya, but Odin's using Odin's this guy with the wings here, is using Freya's cloak made of falcon feathers, which allows the user to transform into a falcon and to evade danger. Um, in most myths, other people or other, I guess, participants in the myth use it, and not specifically her. Like a lot of the myths, Loki uses it, which I think is fitting, you know, given Loki's um, nature and the fact that he's like the the god of trickery and all that. Uh, that he would use a tool used or geared towards elusiveness, and evasiveness and all that. Um, and then yeah, this last one uh, uh, just has one of the coolest names I've seen in a while. Just a wonderful name, Finn McCool or MacCool. I don't know if I pronounced it right. That's the English. I'm losing steam. Uh, Eng, Englishizing.
Anglicized?
Yes, thank you. I I I think I've lost the ability to English anymore, which is just wonderful for the fact that I'm talking for minutes on end. Um, but yeah, Finn McCool um, is has this magical cloak that grants him protection and invisibility when needed, which I thought was an interesting, um, I guess kind of caveat to, uh, I guess to the whole, I guess magic items uh, thing. Uh, I guess trope that it activates when needed instead of like all the time. Kind of reminds me of Harry, like in Harry Potter, when he has like the cloak. It's this big old blanket-looking thing until he puts it on, and then whatever's like covered up is invisible. Um, uh, but yeah, it allows him to evade enemies and to navigate dangerous situations, um, which would be kind of helpful. He's kind of the uh, like he and his band are kind of the Artemis um, of what is this mythology? Irish mythology again, which also caveat that might be offensive to Greek mythology purists or Irish mythology purists for that matter. Yeah. Also, Caleb, uh, have you do you want to add anything or what's coming to
Um,
mind and stuff?
I was just wondering where it came from. Yeah, I kind of it's interesting to me how different cultures tend to have different kind of themes or patterns with where the people or the items come from.
Mm.
Like in some mythologies, the gods all come from almost like other parts of the other gods or natural phenomena, or the natural phenomena come from them, and it's all very loose. While other, like the Greco-Roman, the gods are all of the same type. They all kind of come from the same place, which is just other gods, and they're sort of just like divine humans. Um, that's just a side tangent, though. Yeah, so I was wondering, like, where this uh, invisibility cloak came from, or where, I guess, magical items in general would come from in Irish mythology.
Um, again, I'll have to resort to all the comment section on this one. And I guess it turns out we most definitely will have to do a revision, or I guess a part 1.2 of this series, because I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, like you were saying, North North Norse mythology has like this theme of like I guess we would consider it wacky kind of cosmological events leading to creation of stuff. Um, like in one of my first videos, I talk about how like the first people were made out of like the sweat of a giant cow, which is just
Oh
wonderful.
yeah. Could there be a better metaphor for humanity?
That's a conversation for another day, but I
Wow.
mean, it stands. And then in like Greek mythology, we're made out of like clay or stone, or I think like our race of humans is made out of like stone or something, but like different like metals make different races of humans. Um,
Oh,
but
interesting.
that was kind of just a riff off the top of my head. I don't know where it was leading or where it's coming from or where it's going. But
Yeah,
anyways,
that's
yeah.
funky. Isn't there a story? I don't know if you remember off the top of your head. Like, I think someone was like chopped up into pieces and thrown in the sea, or like the sea foam became someone. Or maybe I'm mixing stories.
Uh, uh,
It seems there's a lot of people being chopped up in myths, to be fair, but I seem to remember someone being thrown in the ocean and like the sea foam formed another deity or something.
yeah. So that's I think you're thinking of Aphrodite.
Uh,
There's a um like a famous painting. I might pull it up. Can you still see my screen, by the way?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can't type when I'm. So yeah, there's this picture of like Aphrodite coming out of the ocean, you know.
Hmm.
And then you might be thinking of Kronos, uh, or Cronus, who was in cut up in the myths. Um,
Yeah, I don't think I
after
was.
he ate the Greek gods.
Yeah, I don't think I was thinking of a Greco-Roman one. It was a little more exotic,
Hmm.
at least exotic to Western culture. But like a little less mainstream. Like maybe it was Norse, or maybe it was more exotic, like some islander culture or
Yeah,
something. I don't remember.
I don't know, maybe. Um,
But yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun to learn about a lot of invisibility and sneaking around this episode. Wearable accessories. No wearable
right.
accessories to make yourself more like obvious, neon work vests or anything.
I mean that would be, I guess, a hallmark of like hazardous or like hazardous materials, or um of like poison in the natural world.
Yeah.
Um which I mean probably should be like Zeus or Jupiter's colors, but you know.
Yeah, Zeus should wear a neon vest.
Amen to that. Anyways, but yeah, I guess that kind of concludes today's episode. As always, thanks for coming around. That's the wrong button. Sorry about that. As always, thanks for coming around. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, ways in which I could be corrected, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. And we will see you when we see you.
See y'all next time.
Sorry, I don't know how to. There we go. That's awkward.
You can clip off the last bit. Another for the blooper reels.